Hello everyone, welcome to the CSEBuddy tutorial. Today we will be studying about the WAP. WAP stands for Wireless Access Protocol. Now let's move quickly to the slides. Okay. So, what is WAP? WAP stands for Wireless Application Protocol. WAP is an application communication protocol. WAP is used to access services and information. WAP is for handheld devices such as mobile phones. WAP enables the creating of web applications for mobile devices. WAP uses the markup language WML instead of HTML. So why is this WAP used? WAP is an old concept. So WAP was used for the small devices having the small screens. Those devices which cannot show the images because their screen size is very small. For those devices, WAP were used. So what WAP does, there was a WAP server, the gateway. So that gateway will compress all the images and will only send the text to the devices, to the small devices. So that was the use of WAP. Earlier phones, some phones were having the only WAP installed on in that because the small size, due to the small screen size. Okay, so let's study about the WAP architecture. It will come in exam. So let's study about the WAP architecture. So first, what is the goal of WAP? The goal of WAP is to provide a web-like experience on a small portable devices. So it will, provide a web-like experience even on the small screen devices. Okay. See, this is a small device, isn't it? You cannot see the big images. You can only see the text here. So for these small devices, WAP were used. So let's go directly to the WAP architecture. So it's quite simple. There is one client here. Okay, this client is actually the user which want to surf the internet. Okay, and this is the web server, the server in which the website is installed, and the middle one is gateway. So actually usually what happens, that client requests to the web server usually, and the web server will give this content to the client using by HTML. So usually this is the concept. But in WAP, what happens, that there is a gateway. So first the client will client request to the gateway. Okay, and now from gateway those requests are passed to the web server. Okay, and now web server will send all the HTML contents to the gateway, and this gateway will again extract all the text only and will discard all the images and send it to client. So that because the client has very small screen, so all the images needs to be scrapped and only the text need to be sent to the mobile device. So that's why gateway is used. It first encode the request, okay, and then that the gateway forwards to the web server, and when web server sends all the required request response with in HTML format, having thus even the images and the beautiful text. So the gateway will take all those beautiful text and images, and it will first discards all the images, and after discarding all the images, it will convert all those beautiful text into the simple black and white text and will forward to the small devices, because client is poor, it has only a small device. Okay, so it can only view the text. So this is the architecture. It's quite simple, isn't it? There are three components: client, gateway, and the web server. Now let's move to the next slide. So this is the information about web client. What is web client? Web client is you, the person who is using the internet. What is WAP server? The WAP server is actually that gateway. Okay, so that is the WAP server. So what it does, it will encode the HTML, and it will encode the HTML to the WML, WAP markup language, by removing all the images and by even compressing, by even changing the beautiful text and font to only the black and white fonts. Okay, simple text, so that it can be visible on the small devices. So this is the work of WAP server or WAP gateway. They are same things. And web browser, there must have one web browser. Okay, because on web browser, so what is a browser? Browser is something which enables you to connect to the internet, like Mozilla or Google. So there must be something, some browser installed even on the WAP enabled handsets. So that is called the web browser. Now what is WML? I have told you that the WAP does not use the HTML. Instead it uses a WML. So WML stands for wireless markup language. Okay, it is a tag language that allows the text portions of web pages to be presented on the cellular phones and personal digital systems. WML is used for for delivering data to the web devices and is HTML-like in appearance. So this is the WML. Okay. Now web protocol stack. You must remember these protocol stack because in exam they may even ask to write the protocol stack. So it's WSP, WTP, WTLS, WDP. Okay. Now, okay, you also remember this. Okay, the components of web architecture. See, there are transport layer, security layer, transaction layer, session layer, application layer. And in transport layer, WDP protocol is used. In security layer, WTLS protocol is used. In transaction layer, WTP protocol is used. In session layer, WSP protocol is used. And in application layer, WAE protocol is used. So you must memorize these concepts, and in exam you must write it whenever they ask about the protocols or the components of WAP architecture. Okay. So now let's move to the next slide. Okay. Wireless datagram protocol. So these are the these are the details of the protocols. You just go through this. Okay. WSP wireless session protocol for session, WTP wireless transaction protocol, and WTLS wireless transport layer security protocol, WAE wireless application environment protocol. Advantage. So now what is the advantage of WAP? Its simplicity of use, mobility, personalized, easy to carry, increased sale for devices, time saving. So these are the advantages of the using WAP architecture. Okay, and what are the disadvantages of WAP? Battery life, small display screen, speed of access, limited availability, price, lack of user habit, limited memory, limited bandwidth. So these are the disadvantages of using WAP. So now this was the slide. This is the ending of slide, and I hope that you must have got the architecture of WAP, and in exam whenever they ask, you must draw those architecture. Okay, and all the details whatever I have told you, advantage, disadvantage, the WAP protocol stack and its layers. Okay, so this is the end of the content. I hope that you have got all the concepts. For more videos, please subscribe and like the channel. Okay, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.